Well, hello and welcome to Lengro Live. Literally, I've just got out of bed. I had to get the Lengro ladies to get me out of bed because I couldn't sleep last night. I was awake at 5 o'clock in the morning. But we have such an amazing show to bring to you guys today. Of course, we have so much astrologically happening. We have a full moon. We also have the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction to talk about, but we have the amazing Amanda Waring, and she's here to tell us about the full moon ceremony that she's doing. Hello, Margaret Murray, how are you? Love the introduction. Thank you very much. I'm really not awake yet, guys, but I do have M, who's in Oz, and it's now 12 o'clock here, which means it's 11 p.m. in Australia. And my darling best friend, she does. Hello, Violetta. Hello, Jenny Richardson, my beautiful girl. Hello, how are you? I've got Emma here to talk to us about her 50th birthday, guys. Turning 50. It's my 50th this year, isn't it, Rich?
Yes, indeed.
It is indeed. And I want to talk to her to find out how she survives being fabulous 50. Hello, my beautiful girl. How are you?
Good evening. I'm really, really good. I'm not 50 quite yet. I've got a few more days. 2nd of February is my birthday.
Let's say hello to Dougie. Dougie.
Hello, Dougie.
Hello, beautiful. Good afternoon to all of you. Right, so I've written down some questions for you, Em. And it's very difficult for me to talk to you like you're not a friend because we've been friends for absolute years. So here's my question. Did you, Em, picture your life to be as it is at 50? Can you tick enough things off your list that you are satisfied 50 next week?
Oh, look, I can tick plenty of things off my list that I'm satisfied of being 50. But I probably didn't know that I'd be where I am now when we were friends. Like I had really, but actually we did a reading together. And even though Claire never likes to do readings for friends,
no, I don't.
She did actually say that I would end up living in Australia just before. Yeah, you did.
I never knew that.
Oh, you didn't know that? You don't remember that? No.
I hate readings for friends because as a clairvoyant, I get feelings of people all the time, but you don't want to mix business with pleasure. And you and I have had the best times of our life together in our 20s.
Yeah. No, you were very, very. Oh, I hate doing readings for friends. But it was just as I set off on my journey that you said, I think you'll end up living there, and I think you'll end up marrying somebody. And it was exactly as you said. And there was absolutely, I mean, what brought me to Australia wasn't remotely what ended up me living here. So,
You know what? We are talking in the magazine about mental health soon, and we're also talking about sliding doors and moments that changed our lives. And I think sometimes we don't know what's going to change our lives. But for the rest of the interview, I'm going to bring on the other Lengro crew, if that's okay, because I know they'll have something to say about it. And I've got so many of my gorgeous girls backstage that I really, really want to bring them on for this as well. I've also got, and I'm very proud to say, hello, Eileen Bathgate. Hello, Nigel Porter. Guys, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Lovely. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So we are going to be doing some readings, but I wanted to ask Em about turning 50 next week. So I'm bringing the ladies on, but also I have got one of my favourite people in the world today, which is Kirsty, down on the bottom left. I think you're on my who is our
compliment.
And Kirsty, you've just experienced having COVID, and
yes, not the most fun. So put it that way, but. It's been just over a month since I had it, and the recovery time's been horrific. I've never been, like, at the time, I've never been more unwell in my life, but the knock-on effect it's had has been unbelievable. Like tiredness, breathlessness, kind of not being able to walk longer than about 15 minutes without sounding like I've run a marathon, lockdown, when you just talk to yourself all the time, I was changing my bedding, and it felt like I was running a marathon. I was talking to the cat, turned around to the cat, I was like, hang on a minute, mate.
Are you feeling better now there, Kirsty?
But miles better, ready to be here and ready to do our virtual partying for your fabulous 50.
We are. Guys, I want to take lots and lots of questions off of you. And something that I've got to say right now is we do have let's have a little look. We don't have a new moon. Somebody said, can you give me insight into why I feel so agitated off it when there's a new moon coming? Astrologically, as a clairvoyant, and Lengro magazine is a lifestyle magazine, guys. It's not just about astrology. We are here to talk about absolutely everything. And we actually have a full moon coming. So I will finish my interview with Em, and then I will come on to that question. But we have a full moon in Leo coming. We also have Mercury turning retrograde, which makes it harder to talk to people. What I would ask right here is if you could like, follow, and share all of our pages, guys, here right now. And let me just take that off for 1 second. You can have a card, but at the moment we're having a bit of a chat as well. So Em, you're turning 50. What's changed most about you in 50 years, Em?
Well, she's not got there yet. She's not 50 yet.
A few days.
Not a lot. No, I think I'm still the same person. I often meet people that I've known for many, many years, and they say I haven't changed a bit. But I also think that, I've got a little bit more sensibleness about myself, and my priorities have changed quite a bit. I mean, now I've got my children and my family, and so basically my priorities are to raise.
So you're honestly telling me that by the time I turn 50, I might be sensible,
and that we'll have a great life. Sorry.
Okay. I said, are you telling me that by the time I actually turn 50, I might be a little bit sensible? Just a small.
You might be
the only two people that are qualified.
Sorry.
The only two people that are qualified to tell you, Sam, are actually Amanda and myself. Because we're
okay, Jack and Amanda, am I going to be sensible in another?
No, absolutely not.
I don't want to look at how many years.
Can I just say?
And I don't think so either, Sam.
Michaela Newton says, women empowerment I'm feeling. Let me tell you, the Lengro ladies are all for men, but indeed, we are about staying strong. And you're very, very lucky that I'm here today. Thanks to Lengro ladies. I wanted to ask, what do you most value about your life at the moment, Em?
What do I most value about my life? Oh, my children, my husband. He just bought me a cup of coffee. Bless him.
Thank you as well.
My children, my husband, and my animals. I used to, when I was younger, I was quite a party girl, but now I'm much more a homebody, and I just really, really love being at home with my family.
You
my family in England, obviously.
You are Goldie Hawn to us at Lengro. How has a pandemic affected you as a person? Has it changed your outlook on life?
It's made me think about life a lot more in a different way. It's scary. It's a really, really scary thing. And I think it kind of makes you reevaluate how you think and makes you try to be stronger in yourself. Because, it's something that we never even thought would come along, but it has, and we have to cope with it. And we have to do our very, very best to deal with this incredibly hard situation. And I think it's just something that makes you stronger.
Okay. Listen.
You're about the other side too now, because you've got freedom, haven't you?
We do have freedom. Yeah, we locked down incredibly hard for quite a long time, and it works. We're doing really well.
Out of all the birthdays that you've had, I want to know which is the best one you've ever had.
Ah,
Yeah,
look,
I like
I can't remember the year, but I think it was around my 20th, around there.
Yeah.
And I was a massive, massive fan of the DJ Carl Cox. He was just my absolute idol. Loved him. And I drove all the way to Exeter or Plymouth. Could have been I don't remember which one it was, Exeter or Plymouth, to see him. And he was fully booked out. And I stood there in front of the bouncer and I was like, it's my birthday. I have to see Carl Cox. And I just basically, for about half an hour, I just really, really annoyed this bouncer. And in the end, he went, you are annoying me so much that I'm going to let you in. And I had the best night dancing. It was absolutely fabulous. It was such a triumph because I thought, oh my gosh, I've driven all this way and I'm not going to get here. But I did. So, yeah.
So persistence pays off then, basically, is the moral of the story.
It really does.
It
I was so annoying that he let me in. So, you know, sometimes it's cool to be annoying.
Okay, so now I have a whole list of questions for you. They're gone. Jackie, Sam, and also all of you, can you all ask a question to Em, please?
Yeah.
And we can go on to something else. Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, can I
just lunchtime?
Can we just say hello to my best friend Donna Alexander, who's watching? She's an actually over 50 lady as well. So, and we have a fabulous time being over 50. But I just want to know, what are you looking forward to most about being 50?
I don't know. I love the number 5. I think that's really the only thing. I mean, age doesn't matter. It's the way you feel about your life and the way you live your life. And I don't think that can really change. I think take the experience that you've learned over your life and grow with it.
Mm-hmm.
But just have fun.
Yeah.
I think do what you want.
I have to say, turning 50 has been amazing. These are my best years, and I saw one of the viewers also mentioned that she loved turning 50. What do you think, Amanda? Did you enjoy turning?
I'm going to say hello to Jane McKell as well, darling, because she's another fellow actress and creative and having a tough time. So I turned 50 by doing a show about turning 50. So I created a one-woman show called Glass Half Full, which I've done all around the world, Edinburgh and all Scotland, Brighton, wherever. And the idea was to really look at my life, but into the words and music of what was working and what wasn't working, and taking the mick out of myself in a very kind of gentle way of what I thought I'd learned and hadn't really learned, and marrying myself at the end. And that was, you know, I think that's what I. So I was nervous on my 50th birthday because I was premiering the show, albeit in front of 200 people who kind of quite liked me.
Wow.
Cake afterwards, but it meant that I'd got a show, I'd got some motivation. And yeah, I agree, 50 is, well, I'm way past 50 now, but 50 is a time of, I think, real balancing out in yourself physically. We start to look at your health a bit more, start to appreciate things a bit more. I think it is a definitely empowering time. So Emma, darling, my question to you is, what do you love to wear most now that you are 50? Yes, now that you're 50.
Well, you were supposed to be wearing something today, Emma.
You
were supposed to be wearing a wig.
I've got my handkerchief dress today, and I absolutely love it. I went to a lady's house. It was I saw it on Buy, Swap and Sell, which is a local group, where people advertise their things. And this lady had advertised all these clothes. And I just wrote to her, I was like, oh my gosh, I love every single thing you've posted. Please, can I come to your house? And I went to her house, and there were 3 like massive boxes of clothes. And she just said, oh, go through them and pick what you want. I was at her house for an hour and a half. They were the most beautiful, beautiful people. I ended up with 11 dresses and 2 tops.
Oh my goodness. I love that. I love that. Can I just
but
you've got
of £35. And this is what it's a little bit I'm trying to work out what I'm
my beauty, you have a question.
but
You have a question.
it was the best fun, I swear.
You have a
strangest thing I've got to tell you, Claire.
Go
The strangest thing. So I picked out these 11 dresses and outfits. And you know how on previous lives I've said my fear of China-headed dolls? I said to this lady, I said, oh, is there a room that I can try on stuff? Because I'm kind of looking at some and I'm thinking that maybe they might be a bit small. And she was like, yeah, sure, you can go in their room. And wall to wall, China-headed dolls. Like literally. Like there was China-headed dolls here, there was China-headed dolls here, there was the mirror here, and there was China-headed dolls here. And I was just like,
Donna Alexander, you've got a comment there for Jack, our lovely Jack. We just get more childish with age, don't we? I'll be 60 in 3 years, but I think the secret is to have fun and just don't take yourself too seriously. But we've also got a question for you here as well. Let's have a little look. And I'd like to go over just for a moment, if that's okay, to Kirsty. So Kirsty, I'm looking at your face at the moment. But Jane McKell, if you, Jack, could read the question for Kirsty, and then I'll go over to Kirsty.
Yeah, this is just so heartwarming. Life is tough right now. I have withdrawn into my home bubble. This has made me want to get my friends on Zoom more, but with really difficult family issues with mental health, my energy is zapped. As one theatre company is rebooking for the third time during COVID-19, but I'm making sure I write one positive post every day.
Oh, I love that. That's
That's
really,
lovely.
really nice.
Yeah.
Kirsty, you have had the hardest time recently because you are a fitness instructor, and having suffered from COVID-19 as well, you've obviously had your health taken away. Do you have anything to say there for that message, or anything in general? Because I'm so happy to have you live today. You're so busy with your personal clients, but I take everything that you've ever said, Kirsty, on board. And I think my eating is better because of you. My fitness is good of you, and I want you to come on today because you are my inspiration, my darling. So please address that question and tell us what you think.
Well, like that. I think that hits the nail on the head there. Like that idea of doing one positive thing a day. I think something that we often do is overwhelm ourselves and try to do too much all at once. Like particularly, I see it a lot. Excuse me. I see it a lot when people want to make a change and they suddenly feel that I'm going to become fitter, healthier, do this. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and I just feel like going just. Strip it back, start at the beginning of the alphabet and let's focus on
One
A
thing.
until you've got there. And until you can nail that one thing, don't try and add anything else in, because we currently all live our lives in a certain way. We have our life. Like you were saying about your family, your husband, your kids. That's your life. To make one change can actually disrupt that. So to make a small change that you can make fit with your life, and then add in another one once you've got really good at that. And that's how you're going to keep the results and how you're going to keep everything. So I think anything we need in health and fitness, it makes me feel really positive. I wish I could, want to share that with everyone. But to write one positive thing a day is such an amazing thing to do, to actually focus on the positive. particularly when we're in a world where everything is so negative at the moment and everyone seems hell-bent on focusing on all the bad and all the things that aren't great. Like, there are still so many things to be grateful for and so many wonderful things in our lives.
I love that. Let me come back to you in just a moment. Amanda, some people know that you're not just an actress, you're not just a presenter or a celebrant, but some of the things that you do are helping people who are dying that know they're dying. And you must have had your schedule full recently. What advice do you have, my darling, for everybody that's coping with a world that feels so crazy and so unpredictable at the moment? We have a full moon coming, and I'm a massive fan of full moon and new moon ceremonies. Of course, we have Mercury going retrograde, and we have 7 planets moving into Aquarius next month. So your list of your jobs is going to be very full. How do we deal with this change in the world? I mean, we are basically, the world is shifting, isn't it? And I believe we can come out on top. But what's your take on it all?
Well, yes, because of wearing so many different hats, and at the moment I'm working with care staff who are overwhelmed with COVID and worried about their own mental health as well. So there's a lot. I'll be doing a funeral one day, training maybe 200 staff. The one thing that I keep coming back to is the belief in. I have a huge belief in humanity. I do. I have a huge belief in the earth. I have a huge belief in this too will pass. Everything does change. We go through something, it will change again. What we have is a collective fear of change. And, as a celebrant, part of my role that I do is to help people transition through changes and see it as a time for growth rather than a time for it's fear of the unknown. But those transition periods are marked out through ceremonies that I will create with groups or with one-to-one people. So, I would say to everyone to get back in contact with the seasons of nature and recognize the ebb and flow of life outside of COVID. Once we get back in sync with the way nature works and our, for us as women, just talking about women right now, and the way our feminine cycles are, a lot more in flow. And a very wise friend of mine said to me that we need to create spaciousness. We in society, we're used to filling our life, filling it with everything. And people that don't have anything to fill it with feel at a loss or bored or depressed. But actually, it's about fulfilling. So now is the time of fulfilling, not filling our life with stuff, but fulfilling what we can do and experience and share. So this slowing down, I've said the new going out, well, not going out is the new going in. That retrospective has to happen for us to clear old emotions that we've had trapped for so long. So it's a cleansing time, but it's powerful and it's potent and it's challenging. And anything I can do, to help, I will. I do it through song, so I can sing a song.
We've just had a message from Carmen Ingram who said, Amanda, your voice is so therapeutic in meditation. When we come back, Amanda will be telling you how you can be a part of her full moon celebration. Also, Kirsty, right down here on my left, is the best personal fitness trainer I have ever met. If you want to know how to get your personal fitness after suffering from COVID or just been staying in too long, then please do comment your question here. We also have my oil, and I can say that in many words, the beautiful Sam, who is a resident oil expert at Lengro magazine. Sam, you're talking about...
Sorry, I'm watching it just at the top trying to get which direction it is. Sorry.
Fingers.
What do you mean?
Sorry. Yes, I'm in this magazine. I'm doing something this week.
This is part of my workout routine.
For just a moment there, I looked really professional, and now you
were very inspired. Yeah.
It's like Ed was going to a rave. I'm sorry.
I was
sorry,
focused, but
let me say it is 12:30 in Australia right now. This girl has done damn good getting up because I didn't wake up this morning because I woke up at 5 o'clock and couldn't get back to sleep, much to Richard's dismay. So they're lucky we're all here. Yes, I'll do readings. But Kirsty is the person that you need to talk to, that you want to talk to if you want to build up your personal fitness. Carmen Ingram, I do believe you're in New York City. I think you are. You love Amanda's voice. It will be back. But we also have a question for Amanda as well, and I've got some questions to finish off for Emma. So I'm going to attempt to take people off here. I've got a very long message from somebody that's a follower. Please keep putting them up. I will show them. But I've got something to show you now, which is a question for Amanda from a question from Amanda from the editor of Lengro Kids, Casey. Here you go.
Hi guys, Casey from Lengro Kids here. As you can see, I'm building up quite a big collection of crystals, which I've been using a lot during lockdown, which you can get at clairepetrolingro.tv. But I was wondering, how can I charge these crystals? And I know there's something about the full moon. Amanda, do you think that you could help me with charge these crystals up? Because I think they need quite a big charge. What do I do? Thanks. Bye.
Love that.
I love her.
Thank you, darling, for your incredible question and your fabulous collection of crystals that look amazing. So yes, to charge up our crystals is to place them wherever you can outside under the light of the full moon. And part of that is because the full moon is that feminine energy. It's that divine energy. It's allowing that crystal to just discharge what it doesn't need anymore, because crystals take on different energies in the home as well, so they need a break. So it's their moment of moon bathing, giving them moon bathing moment, you know, and it only needs to be for 24 hours overnight. But another secret to this as well that is a lovely thing to do is to really mindfully, when you are charging the crystals, is to always thank them and to say thank you for what you've given me already, and enjoy your moon bathe if you're a child. But also then you can activate them again. So once they've been charged up, it's about really putting an intention for what this crystal is. So for Casey, for example, you might want to, you know, put a wish into the crystal that school's open, or maybe not. I just don't know. I would certainly have kept them closed forever, but that's another story. Anyway, but to put that into the crystal, and you could bury that into the earth in the garden if you wanted to, and then dig that up at the new moon, or just have it back with you at home. So yes, that's the full moon, and for all of us as women, full moon, to allow ourselves to expand under that light. Enjoy it. Let every particle aspect of you feel filled up with that divine energy.
I love that. But I've got a question for Sam, and then I'm coming over to Kirsty. Jane, I've got to read your message out. Song. When the day is grey, when the path is steep, when the bridges sway, what stone you reap? Looking for the wagtail, looking for the flowers, looking for the handrail. Fearing turns to power when a task is tough, when the night is dark, when love's not enough. Then make a mark. Breathe in to make a start. Breathe in to see the dawn. Breathe in to heal, heart. Refuse to be forlorn. When your cake won't rise, when your eyes can't close, when your baby cries, then grow a rose. Make. Absolutely.
That is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Really lovely.
So, Sam, before I go on to my amazing Kirsty,
Really
who I'm like buff to have on here today, you've dealt with a really, really sensitive subject. You've dealt with anorexia. And you've dealt with using oils that deal with health problems. You've gone into a whole new sphere because, Sam, you have this way when writing of understanding other people's needs, and you are the most giving person I've ever met in my life. And I just think that what you do is you reach out for people, but you don't even pick a type. You know, you encompass all. So tell us about where you're going with your writing, because you are incredible.
Thank you. No, I think a lot of things, especially over lockdown, 1, 2, or 3, depending on where you are, I think everyone's sort of focused on people that have put on weight rather than those that have or are in the grip of an eating disorder. But the help is still out there. So if any of the things that I talk about and write about, you know, if it sort of rings true, please contact a medical professional, because 100%, you know, we can do all the holistic stuff for you, but it's about being your best self. And that's what I want for everyone. You know, I can sit here and be annoyingly, what's the word I'm looking for? Positive. But it's not going to help you unless you are ready to make the change. And I think that, you know, if you're just focusing on people just one side of the spectrum, you're missing out a whole other section of people that also need it. You know, people that are battling eating disorders, I know have gone completely the other way with working out. And it's just not, you know, they need to focus on themselves and be positive. But because of lockdown, I think the help's not there. And it is.
It is indeed. It is indeed. I want to come back to Emma in a moment, but Kirsty, I've got to come over to you because I know that my beautiful Jackie has some questions for you, and I've put mine away. But yeah,
that way.
You.
I've got my arms right now.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, Kirsty. So I love your page every week in the magazine. You know, I just can't wait to read what you're writing about. And this week you talk about self-doubt, don't you?
Yeah, so it's that idea that I think a lot of us are doubting ourselves at the moment. And I find with my job, and, you know, I'm quite lucky really, because, you know, although it's not ideal, it's not, I'd rather be in my studio, I'd rather, you know, there's lots of, I think we all have the would you rather aspect of our lives. But I actually get to mix with a lot of people in a one-to-one environment on a daily basis. So in a way, I'm kind of still quite social. But you start to see the same patterns, even though it's people in all different walks of life, all doing different jobs, big family life, whether they're living alone. And I think everyone's starting to doubt themselves. And I think each lockdown has been a little bit different. And this lockdown, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's just been the hardest one of them all. And it's brought about new challenges. It's felt like a much deeper struggle. And, you know, I think all the doubts about, oh, when are we going to be out of lockdown? When are we going to be going back to work? When will I be able to see my family? Has now morphed into this, what about me? I'm doubting me. Like, what about me? Like, am I going to be able to get through this? You know, and you're starting to see people talking quite negatively about themselves. And I don't know whether that's a byproduct of there being so much negative energy around at the moment, whether it's the news, you know, the cacophony of things going on. We won't enter the political minefield that is the world right now. But I think anything that you can do is to recognize, and much like Sam, like you're talking about, is everyone has personal experiences. And yes, it is essential that you speak to a medical professional, but there is holistic support out there, and there is so much we can learn from other people's experiences. It's just understand that someone's experience is their own, and it's not gospel. It's not the way to sort of deal with it. Like, get medical support and help, but, you know, learn from the experiences, connect with people, and, you know, we can really tackle that self-doubt.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing as well. People don't realise how social a PT's life is, and you've literally gone from one extreme to the other, because you are surrounded by people all the time, whether you're teaching a class or helping someone one-to-one, and then you suddenly go into doing it virtually. As obviously we've discussed, Kirsty, haven't we, that you are doing virtual programs, and I know that you, in this week, you are offering discounted PT sessions. And I'm sure Claire will put it at the bottom how everyone can contact you. Yeah. But I'm guessing it is completely different for you. I mean, not just the recovery aspect of it, but the fact that you can't go out and just, you know, throw yourself into a class and just be Mr. Sociable. You kind of stuck at home. And although it's, you know, you can still be sociable, it's not the same.
And you guys, also that self-doubt at the moment, you're right, is there's a lot of anxiety, you know, like people, it's you know, there's anxiety for people coming on camera. You know, there's the uncertainty. You know, I often begin my sessions, you know, it's got easier as time's gone on, but, you know, I'm not in the room with that person. Like, it's very unlikely that something's going to go wrong, but I can't, you know, help them make that correction, or, you know, or see that, or you worry that there's going to be connection issues, or, you know, and making sure that they feel safe and they feel comfortable. When you've got an environment like the studio that I have to work in, you know, that it works, you know, that it's safe, you know, that it provides the backdrop that's needed. And
Can I just ask you, Kirsty, though, do you think as well that, I mean, for all of us, in whatever aspect of our job, we're more alone with ourselves right now, aren't we? And so we're having to take a deeper look at ourselves and really analysing ourselves in the real world. We didn't get a chance to do that before. And now we have a chance to think about our reactions to things. And perhaps we might not like certain characteristics we've got. So really, we're hot-housing ourselves as well. Don't you think, Amanda? In a sense where analytically, life is under a microscope, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, again, we can go down those wrong rabbit holes,
Yeah.
which is where we pile on and we pile on and we pile on self-criticism. It's better that we look at what's there like an intrigued child and go, oh, what actually is there in my Pandora's box? And take things out one at a time, like Kirsty said. Don't take out the whole shebang, but be interested in your own self-discovery of who you are and what needs to be healed and assessed and tended to. I think what we're all struggling with is that none of us are being tended to, so we are having to self-soothe. I call self-soothe. So there's a practice that I do with many of the care staff, obviously, and NHS staff who are run ragged. And it's just, if you want to try, everybody just put one hand over your heart right now, where you feel so much anxiety. Just place one hand over your heart and one hand over your lower tummy. And almost imagine that part of you that's that child that's frightened, that's overwhelmed, that's got self-doubt, that's lost confidence. Just feel that you're almost like a wise grandmother comforting that part of you. And just breathe for that 1 second. And just allow love to receive into you. So allow yourself to receive love from yourself. So I'm going to say that again. Allow yourself to receive love into yourself, from yourself. We battle with not receiving love and recognizing ourselves. So then I just do one thing and I say, this love will carry, this love will carry you. Oh, this love will carry you through. And just take a deep breath in.
I absolutely love that. Do you know what? We are all still here, guys. We are all still here. Let's take a look at what's going to be in OK Magazine. Oh my goodness!
You've changed your name.
Honestly, I have to come back and talk about my new course.
Lengro! Far better than
My school is open. First, I want you to see what's in Lengro magazine.
Hi everybody, and welcome to issue 36 of Lengro magazine. This week we've been talking about our what if moments and the turning points in our lives. And on the cover we have our very own Goldie Hawn, our beautiful M from Oz. She's on the cover because she's going to be turning 50 soon. Shh, don't tell anybody. And there's a great interview with her in there. Our lovely Claire talks a bit more about Romany gypsy life and tells us the sliding doors moments for each star sign. I've got some beauty, celebrity and midlife advice on my page and what to do if your dog won't stop barking. I've also got a beautiful song of the week from the lovely Kate Winslet, so have a look at that. Our Winging It, Singing It mummy Gemma shares her big what if moments, and the biggest one being her gorgeous daughter Casey. Laura from Law's Claws reveals her memorable interview at an adult toy shop, or sex shop as we would call it. Find out what's on Mitch's mind this week after his fork in the road moment, and find out what's happening in the theatre and arts world as well. There are 2 more Twin Flames short stories from me and Em, so check that out. And we've also got a very special poem from a Lengro reader called Caroline Bell, so have a read of that. Shelley's back this week with 6 steps to self-confidence and how to change the way that you think. Sam looks at anorexia this week and tells us the best oils to use for that. And do you know what your skin undertone is? No? Well, have a look in the Lengro beauty box with Tatiana and find out more. Amanda has some exciting news to share about her online ceremonies and her celebration of life services. our lovely Jan talks about her amazing dad and how losing him was the turning point in her life. The leading ladies are back with some film and series reviews in the film club, and Kirsty, our fitness queen, is also back. She helps us to overcome self-doubt, take control and make a change. And she has a fabulous offer for 10 lucky Lengro readers who want to feel healthier and change their life. So have a look at that. Well, what are you waiting for? Grab a cuppa, have a look at the magazine, and don't forget you can subscribe so that every Wednesday the magazine goes straight to your inbox on your email. So take care, everybody. Enjoy the magazine, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.
I love that woman. I really love that woman. Who could do a better lineup of what's in the magazine, and who could organise me better and get me out of bed this morning? I'm also here to tell you, of course, if you have been following me, then you'll know that last year I produced my own tarot cards, going back to the Babylonian meanings of what planets, what star signs, what herbs, etc. belonged on each card. And the reason I'm looking so haggard is actually I've just loaded a course so that whether you are a novice and you don't know anything about tarot cards, whether you think that you pick up on your own intuition about what tarot cards mean, or whether you think you know what they mean, I know there's always a level deeper that you can go. And what I'm offering now is a tarot card course for all levels that you can join, that you can also do Q&A sessions with at a later date, which I'm sorting out right now. But essentially, you can even buy a bite size of the course where you get to find out what a card really means. Leslie Anthony says, your body is more powerful than you can imagine, filled with life, energy, ability, and self-healing. Now, I'm going to pick somebody for a reading now. Let's have a little look. Sonia Timmington, I know you were asking for a reading earlier, so I'm going to pick a card for you as well. If you have your own tarot cards, make sure that when you shuffle them, that you shuffle them really well and that you turn them both ways. I picked one card, the Ten of Swords, which shows that you feel that the world is against you at the moment, but actually everything's going in your favor. It tells me, Sonia, that people have left your life that you think should still be in it. But actually, it also shows that you're a little bit behind the times. So it means that things have gone on as they should with age and as the way that the world grows. So you need to really look after yourself and concentrate on loving yourself in different areas. Quite a harsh thing to say there, isn't it? But we have, what do we have coming up, Rich? A full moon.
Yes.
We have a full moon. I think I better bring on Amanda and we better chat about it. Amanda.
Yes, my darling. I'm so excited about your course, and the cards are so amazing. So fantastic.
Thank you so much. It was a dream come true, and a 5-year plan came together in 12 months. But you are my woman to go to for full moon and new moon celebrations. Now, if people don't understand, Sonia, you said that makes sense with your reading. Thank you very much. What I would advise, Sonia, as well, join up with Amanda's full moon ceremony as well. I believe, and I know you do too, that as above, so below. So I think it's stupid to think that the pull of the planets and the full moon that affects the tides will not affect us. What's your take on that? And tell me about your ceremonies that you're offering.
Well, darling, yeah, I mean, definitely we all go a little bit different at the time of the full moon. It does affect us differently. But, in the old tribal traditions and cultures, women would all together come onto their moon time, so their flow, start their periods, and they would have their moon lodge where they would all collect together, and they would be in that time where they would be more psychically aware, have greater intuition, be more sensitive to the needs of others, and also just need to have that moment of time on their own because they're so open. So that it would be with a community of women, it wouldn't be with the other stresses. So we don't give ourselves that time out anymore. We've lost that connection. So for me, the time of the full moon and to do full moon ceremonies, which I would love if anyone's free and wants to join me, I think it's on my Facebook page. So at Amanda.
Well, I know a few people here that are joining us now that would love to join it as well. Yep, go on, carry on.
Yes, so that's on this Thursday at the full moon. So it's a very good time where we're going to really look at what we want to let go of and what we want to pour in. So it'll be a powerful, quite emotional time. I'm doing a special extended version of an hour and a half because so many people are struggling with things that they want to let go of and don't quite know how. So there'll be some hand holding in ceremony, with song, with meditation, with
Contact.
yes. What, darling?
I love that. Sam, I can't wait. A lot of people don't know this, but I've actually never given you a hug, and I can't wait to give you a hug.
No, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? 100%.
exactly.
It is. That's one of the things that I miss. I don't know about anybody else, but I genuinely do miss hugging people. I'm a touchy-feely kind of person.
I'm touchy-feely as well. Yeah.
I hug all my friends. Obviously, I can't do that in a minute. It's a bit strange. And I don't know if anyone else has, like, we've been watching films and TV shows, that it almost seems like a little bit strange to see everyone doing that
Do you find
in your face kind of?
You don't like watching. I don't like watching things where people are out at parties. I get really jealous.
And you're like, really? You've gone to a bar?
Let me throw that question back to Emma. Emma, you're having your 50th birthday. And so it must be hard because obviously, you know, my 50th is this year. You want to kind of mark it. Has it soured it being in lockdown because you're not in the same lockdown that England is? You know,
No, we're not. We're pretty lucky in Australia. So I'm allowed 30 people to my house. So yeah.
Are you allowed to hug them, Em?
It's kind of trying to work out at the moment how many people are bringing people so that I can get to that 30 thing. So I'm incredibly lucky. I really didn't think a month or two ago that I would be able to have a party with, you know, with that many people. But
although you should
like
just
I
become
said,
a
we
bit
locked
more
down
forgetful in your
very
old age.
hard.
but I'm just glad
I'm
glad you're here and healthy, and I'll have a party with you any night of the week, just so long as you're here and healthy. But let me bring this back to Kirsty as well. So Kirsty, the reason that you write for Lengro magazine is because, to me, I've known you for many years, and you are an expert in both physical and mental health. But you've had this massive thing where you caught the virus really badly. And you've dealt with it, and you're trying to go back to a job that requires physical strength. I mean, what's your views? What message do you have for people? We've got some questions coming up here as well. Let's have a little look. We've got a question here. For the anxious, it will be over. Just say that over and over. We have food. We have shelter. Friends, true friends. It's the isolation that's difficult. Human touch, hugs so precious. We'll value them more than gold, diamonds or pearls. After all this is over, it will be over. Just say that over and over. Oh, what were you?
I said that this morning to somebody. Somebody knocked on the door that I've not seen for a while. Yeah. And I was just like, everyone keeps saying, you know, all this negative, because it does seem to, as Kirsty was saying earlier, this lockdown does seem to be more negative.
Yeah.
But I've got a roof over my head. I've got my loved ones. I've got food. I've got a job. You know, I'm still getting paid. There is nothing else that makes any difference. Everything else is just on hold. It's not like it's been cancelled. You just got a plan.
I think the world's just always on this forwards trajectory, which is good. We should always look forwards. But I think at the moment, it just needs to be day by day. I just think at the moment, just day by day, stop kind of trying to preempt what's going to happen, or kind of expecting, almost expecting disappointment if what we want to happen doesn't, and just immerse yourself in the day. Have a good day. Make that day good, and then the next day is the next day.
I think what's different this time round is, like, the first time we sort of thought, okay, by Christmas it's all going to be over and we're all going to be back to normal, and then that didn't happen, and everything just seems a bit further and further away. I think that's why we're feeling so down this time. So it's hard, isn't it, to keep. The first time it's like, yes, stay positive. We've got this. We've got, you know, roof over our head, blah blah. But we're running out of the positives. I think that's what's causing the problem. You know, people are struggling to find the positives.
Yeah,
I think it's because of lack of sunshine now as well.
Comes to an end. Everything comes to an end.
Exactly. Kirsty, I know that talking to you over the years when we worked together and stuff as well, that you're a great believer in that physical exercise will release the endorphins, and that we have to go for those walks. What's your thoughts on that as well? Like, for us, I mean, I haven't been out of the house probably in 2 months.
Do you know what? Just before I got COVID, the weekend before I got COVID, I moved to my new place, and then I got COVID. and obviously isolated for 10 days. But then even after my 10 days of isolation, you know, a combination of the bad weather, but also just I've had no energy, is I've not left the house. And it's given me this whole new perspective, because I've gotten really low and feeling really down. And you sort of, that, you know, on the one hand, it makes me realize the power of exercise, and you really do realize how much that uplifts you. But it's also highlighted for me how important routine is. And the devastating thing for me at the moment is, and I can see that lots of people have done this, and it's giving me a whole new shift in perspective, hence the offer I'm offering, is I've not left the house. This house that I've moved into, my routine in it is to not leave it, is that I'm here and I don't go outside. And as soon as you make those routines and you make those patterns, they're really hard to shift and change. So going back to like the earlier point of making that one step, that one change, at the moment, my personal goal at the moment is to leave the house on a daily basis. You know, yesterday it was pouring with rain. I took the bin out, but I still left the house outside the front door. But my current perspective is to not leave. And I think, you know, as soon as I do leave, and the sun was shining this weekend, it's amazing. And you go outside and you think, oh, I love this. Why am I not doing this? And to focus on the good, and to focus on the good feeling. And again, knowing that you're going to have something good and feel good out of it, versus basically, as we're saying at the moment, the world is kind of looking ahead and not really knowing if it's going to be a good outcome. And so feeling like everything we look forward to is potentially not great, is to actually have something to look forward to that's going to feel great, and know that it is. You know, even those days where you do not want to work out, and even as a personal trainer, I have them. I have days where
We're still human.
I feel like writing my own note to myself, saying like, I'm on my period, I can't do PE today.
You know what?
But slow progress is still progress. We've got to remember that.
Afterwards.
There's always an excuse, but as long as everything that you do every day is one step going in front of the other. Michaela Newton, thank you so much for joining us live today. Although lockdown can be negative, I do believe it's reintroduced quality family time. I'm sure you guys agree with that. It's definitely a positive for me. It's also given me time to reevaluate how busy I thought my life was before, and the feeling of having no downtime. Now there is a lot more of it. I found a healthy balance, and I'm so grateful for that. I appreciate so much more from this trying time. But we're all still here together, guys, and we will come out of this. I know it sounds negative, but there's no blood and guts outside in our streets. We're not in the Second World War.
And Kirsty was just saying about taking the bin out. Did any of you see the Australian isolation bin challenge?
No.
Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing. When we were in lockdown, people throughout the whole of Australia who were in lockdown and couldn't leave their houses used to dress up in these fantastic costumes to take the bin out, because the bin went out more than we did. And it was amazing. It was a massive Facebook sensation. And it was so fun. People would wear wigs, costumes.
Oh my God,
and once a week, every Thursday night, where you take the bin out,
I think we should bring
people would wear these amazing costumes, and it was a great way to get over it.
It's such a fun thing to do, isn't it? Like I go rollerblading with.
Oh, it was so
one of my best
fun.
friends,
It was
and
so fun. I didn't do it, but it was fun.
I
love it, isn't it?
rollerblading, but we make sure that every time we go all out, like just to practice. We're talking glittery leggings, the full work makeup, like every time. Like it's a Tuesday and we're down on the sea.
Full on, totally.
Everyone's so happy to see you. They're like cheering you on. You're brightening people's days, but actually getting dressed up is such a privilege.
Can I just say as well, guys, Lengro magazine has 21 writers, and it's free for all of you guys. It's not just about astrology. It's a lifestyle magazine with helplines, advice, and to uplift you. Click on Lengro magazine. The site to go to is down there running along the screen. But you know, sometimes in life as well, there are things that we do that are work. And Kirsty right here, down in the middle, my gorgeous Kirsty. It's the first time she's been on live, but you are offering something at the moment, some way of your business. And before we end the show today, I want to get out about what you're offering and what Amanda's offering this week, so that we can help people. So, Kirsty, tell them all about it.
So I'm really aware at the moment, and even in my own self and my own experience, of just how hard it is to motivate ourselves in lockdown, but particularly this lockdown number 3 being the hardest. And I know that people's jobs and livelihoods have been affected financially as well. So by sort of like a bid to really support people, I'm offering £200 off personal training at the moment. So 10 sessions, £200 off. So normally personal training sessions are £45. It's a national average. I'm offering sessions for £25 that each, so paying for 10 up front. And it's those 10 that are going to be pivotal, because we can address what we need to, work out.
Sorry,
where
that's
people's
Eddie. I'll just put myself on
weaknesses
mute.
are. I mean, the dogs can join. I'll train. I can train them too. But it's also about, promoting better sleep. I'm going to be supporting you. You'll be getting that nutritional support, just having that guidance. But in those 10 sessions, I want to educate clients, because for me, training, it's a lifestyle. It's not just something that you do. I'm not a transformation PT. I'm not going to make you do before and after photos. I just want to help people become better versions of themselves. You are already all awesome and amazing, but it's about allowing yourselves to be able to reach that point where you really feel it in yourself and know how to maintain it. So those 10 sessions are going to teach you and give you the tools. So after the 10 sessions, hopefully you'll feel more motivated to just carry on, keep going, and know that you can make it fit, because we don't make time for ourselves in our busy schedules. And I don't know about you ladies, but I've actually found that the less I've had to do, although you think you'd have more time to do things, I've actually been less productive. You actually kind of, you fill time poorly. So to have a PT session booked in that is in your diary for you, it's pivotal. I can't, days get away from me, and I had 10 days of isolation. I'm honestly like, what day?
Can I just say as well, for you guys who have followed me for years, for the last 10 years, Kirsty has trained me in personal fitness. At the moment, I'm actually slightly underweight, but she's kept me to my fitness momentum, and I do eat really healthy and stuff, and everything that I've been trained for is with Kirsty. So I'm going to put on a few more pounds, eat a few more cakes. But if you want to get to an ideal weight, if you're overweight, you're underweight, whatever, she's your girl, because she's not just about, changing for a moment. She's about a lifestyle change. And I believe if it's not in your house, you can't eat it. If you don't, you can't put it in your mouth. But I also think that sometimes we're self-abusing ourselves as well. But Amanda, I think that new moons, full moons, Mercury retrograde, any sign that's sextile or in a square, whatever, means something. I live my life by astrology, but you are marking the full moon this week. Would you like to tell people how they can join you as well? Somebody said they love somebody the most, but they said SA something, which I think is Sam. Especially they love especially Sally. We don't have a Sally. We're not called Sally. Jane, who do you mean? I think she means
worse. Just saying. Definitely. I think we've been called worse on lives, but
Amanda, tell us all about your ceremony.
You can join me on my Facebook page. So it's at Amanda Waring Celebrant is my Facebook page. It's a Facebook event. Again, reduced price for everybody so that it becomes affordable. Just £10 for an hour and a half of time for you, time for rest and reflection. But I've also got an inbox ceremony as well, which means that on February the 1st, we're also going to look at how do we plant seeds of new beginnings for ourselves at this time. So celebrating that. So I'll be teaching you ways to find your power animal to help give you a little bit more of guidance and a sense of a companion that's with you. So activating that under the full moon, I'll be talking about crystals that might help you, and basically allowing us to be in community together as fantastic women, to come and share stories, have that time to be nurtured. I'm all about allowing the moon's nurture to come and support us, and I'm all about allowing the earth's nurture to come and inspire us for the Imbolc ceremony. So 2 ceremonies, as above and below. See you there, I hope.
I absolutely love that. Now, we ladies are back live at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. My thought for today is life is what you make it. Make yours count. Make every day count, I think. Ladies, if you have anything else to say with that, I'm going to bring up the ending credits for us today. But I've had an amazing day, just to know you're all out there and that you're all with us as well. And can I just say thank you to my Lengro ladies for getting me up this morning, but also for the love and support you've shown me. They're not just my ladies, they're all your ladies too. And we are here for you, so you don't have to be alone. We'll get through this. A bit of that English humour, a bit of the Oz that Em's got, so that she's learned over the last 20 years thrown in. And you've got to, because what's the other option? And I'm certainly not going to go down. What do you think, girls?
Girl power. Power to
It's all good.
Girl power, definitely.
It's all good in life's what you make
girl
it.
power fired up in my belly.
No regret.
I love it. Don't forget, we have the Hands Crystal and Gemstones Pirate Treasure with lots of gemstones in. We also have our oils, which Sam recommends as well. But most of all, guys, go and have an absolutely amazing day and know that we will be back here for you. We're not going anywhere. And look at the bottom page. Get over to lengro.co.uk, and we haven't even done Leading Ladies. That's how rubbish I am. But
we haven't done Leading Ladies today.
You can read about it in the magazine.
You can read it in
Have
the
we got
magazine.
time? Have we got time? Can we
read it in
www.clairepetslengro.uk.
Love you all.